y'all ever notice that there's a lot of people out there, like in that Toilet Paper USA movement there, that they say God talks to them all the time. And I see the women and the men's up on the TikToks saying that God talks to them all the time. But TV preachers, they always saying God talks to them all the time, but God's always telling them to ask people for money for some reason. I didn't know God was a broke ass. But anyway, doing that, and then you got these Greg Locke preachers that God talks to them. You got Speaker of the House of Gilead, Commander Mike Johnson there. Moses Mike says God talks to him all the time too. And so I got to thinking on it, and I was like, well, why is God talking to these people all the time? You know, that don't seem like that's the kind of people God would want to hang out with. You know, I mean, so one of three things is going on here. So one, these people are lying and God ain't really talking to them. They're making up big old fat stories on God, what they're doing. Or two, they're lying to God about who they are because they want to do terrible things to other human beings. You know, they want to get rid of people they don't like and stuff like that. I mean, get rid of, you know. And I couldn't see God hanging out with them kind of people, so they could be lying to God about what they're doing, you know. That could be. Or three, and this is the worst one, God knows who they are and he's hanging out with them anyway. That's the one I don't want, for sure. But anyway, I figured if God's going to talk to these crazy people, then maybe he'd like to talk to us too. So if you don't mind joining me in a little prayer here, and maybe God will reach out to us. All right? So please bow your head in prayer. Dear Father that's up in the heavenseth, and hallowed be thy name. We have a biggeth problem here on our earth. And thus we need your help there, Howard, dear Fathereth in heaveneth. If you're not too busyeth, could you reach out to us and maybe give us some assistance dealing with crazy people here on our dirt ball? So anyway, what in the world is that? Who's interrupting my prayer time? That's what I want to know. Hey, y'all hold on just a second. Somebody wants to connect up on a call in the middle of prayer time. Y'all hold on just a second. Sorry about that.
All right, already. That made my head hurt. That was the dumbest prayer I ever heard in my infinite life. Please, just stop already. Now, what space rock are you bothering me from? I made so many of those damn things I should have stopped when I flooded that blue one back in the day. But anyway, meathead, describe your space rock to me. Maybe I can do something to help you out. But don't get your hopes up. I got a lot on my plate up here.
Oh, no, Howard, you might not like this. All right, listen, I think that's us. Look, all right, we've got one star, we think, and then we've got a little tiny planet that's real close to that star there, and it heats up like a pinball, and nobody lives on it, all right? And then we've got another one we call Venus. It looks like ours, except it's green, and it has white swirls on it, and then we've got the blue one, Howard, and it looks like a pretty blue marble with white swirls all over it, and we've got one big moon. And then we've got an orange planet. They say it's red. Looks orange to me. And we keep going to it over and over again, Howard, even though it's a dead planet. We can't figure out why they're doing it, but they've been doing it for a long time. And then we've got a big gas giant planet, they tell us, with a big red dot on it. And then we've got another gas giant planet with a ring around it. And then we've got another gas one over there with it's blue, I think. And then another one that's a different green or something like that. And then we've got another one that we disowned a few years ago. It's little. So anyway, that's us there, Howard, if that rings a bell.
That does ring a bell. Did that old podger actually build that boat? I can't believe that. I was just screwing with him. He took me seriously. After telling him to put two of every animal in the world on a boat, I forgot all about that. That hilarious. So, meathead, what the hell is happening there now? Do I need to come back down there and flood it again?
Come down here and flood it all again? No, Howard. Maybe. I mean, but not yet. Let's not get there yet. But listen, the thing is we got crazy people out here. I mean, they're just running wild out here, rounding people up, doing mass roundups on people that they don't like, people that ain't the same color as them and stuff. We call it racism, is what we're calling it down here, Howard. And I mean, these people have lost their damn... my bad, Your Honor. anyway, they've lost their mind down here, and they're wanting to round up all kind of. They're making people disappear. We don't know where they're going for sure, and they're wanting to do this to everybody. They done made half the people in this country enemies. They said they're calling us terrorists and stuff like that. That's what's going on down here, Howard. Crazy people, lots and lots of crazy people. That's what's happening.
Crazy people? That's why I flooded it the first time, if my memory serves me. And why the hell do you keep calling me Howard, meathead?
What do you mean, why do I call you Howard? Because it's in the book that you left for us down here, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I hear people say it all the time there, Howard. They say, Dear Father that's up in the heavenseth, and hallowed be thy name. So you must have left it in the books that you left down here for us. So that's why I'm calling you Howard.
For my sake, my name is Archie, not Howard. And you guys have a book. This is getting out of control. Jesus Christ.
What do you mean, book? No, we got books is what we got. We got like more than one book. We got 2 books is what we got. At least for these crazy people that we got running around here doing all the roundups and stuff. They got books is what they got. And look, that first one that you left down here, that thing is brutal, dear Howard. Archie, and that thing is brutal, and people are reading it to their kids for bedtime stories. They've been doing that for 3,000 years, I think, there. It's crazy. That thing reads like a horror story. Why'd you leave that thing down here? And then later on, you gave us another one, and yeah, that one right there is Jesus Christ.
Why the hell are you saying Jesus Christ, meathead? I'm the one that's upset here.
I ain't the one that brought his name up, Archie. I ain't the one that did it. You did. And that's what I thought you was talking about in the books is the reason why you said it. That's what I thought it was, the books you left down here. Because the first one, it didn't talk about him. It talked about all kind of other brutal stuff that you want to do to us and what you did to us and stuff like that. But it didn't. And the second one come out, and it was Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was about Jesus Christ, that little brown hippie baby Jesus there. You remember the story. I mean, surely you do. I mean, what you did to that little 12, 13-year-old girl and all that stuff. She wound up pregnant with little brown hippie baby Jesus, which was actually you somehow, and come down here and died for all of our sins and stuff. And then they killed him up on a cross. He resurrected 3 days later, and now then for 2,000 years, people been standing around about 3 times a week, people saying that little brown hippie baby Jesus is going to come rapture us all up and take us up there and give us all sky mansions. I mean, those books created up some confusion for us. I figured that's what you was talking about there, Arch.
Jesus Christ, those damn aliens, they got you too. They've been going around my universe, spreading half-truths and outright lies. And to make matters worse, you idiots believe it. Hold on, meathead. Peter, go get the damn scrolls again. Yeah, they got another one. Let's see how bad it actually is. All right, meathead, go ahead and tell me what's going on down there. And what the hell did your book say about me? Because I'll tell you right now, I have heard some doozies.
Well, I done told you, Archie, I done told you that what was going on down here. We got a bunch of lunatics running around in a dirt ball with us, and we try to do the right thing and fix the situation. It just gets worse every time we turn around, you know. We thought we had a problem solved just about a year ago, you know. It wasn't solved. I mean, these people are resilient. They just keep on coming back like zombies, you know. I mean, I done told you they're doing all the roundups and all that stuff, and people they don't like, and man, they really got it in for the women too. They want to control all the women and the little girls and stuff, and they some nasty folks, you know. It's that Christian nationalism. I don't know if you ever heard of that stuff, but that's what's going on down here. Now, as far as talking to you about what that book say about you, look, I don't feel right getting into all that with you, you know. Not right here, right now. It's intimidating, if I'm being honest with you now. I done told you what you did to that girl and everything, and made that little brown hippie baby Jesus fella and all. I told you that people expecting to get sky mansions and all, but I mean it's worse, Archie. I mean it's worse than that. I mean there's parts of that first book that you put out there where you was telling people to go beat babies' heads in on rocks and stuff, and then you made these crazy laws about wearing 2 different types of thread at the same time. That'd get you in trouble. You know, putting 2 different types of crops in the same field, that'd get you in trouble. Eating on some pork or some shellfish, that'd get you. There's all kind of stuff that'd get you in trouble in there. But at the same time, you had slaves and concubines and all kind of weird stuff going on in there. So, I mean, really, Archie, I would rather not get into all of it. Let's just say that you did some pretty bad things according to them books, all right?
Yeah, that's about par for the course. Did some of it, didn't do a lot of it. So these people want to be killed and given sky mansions? That one is new. Sounds like you got some batshit crazies. Now, I'm going to go down this here list. Tell me how much of this stuff you got going on down there. Okay, meathead?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm ready, Arch. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, meathead. This here is the 14 characteristics of fascism. Number one, powerful and continuing nationalism. You know, flags everywhere, slogans, songs, those kind of things. You're seeing a lot of that stuff?
Oh, yeah, that started a long time ago, Archie. That started a long time ago when all this whole thing started there. It was to Make America Great Again, because they followed this orange dude around down here. Donald F. His name's Donald Trump. Krasnov's his Russian name there, Archie. But anyway, yeah, they love this dude, and he's a maniac. He's a criminal, 34-time convicted felon, adjudicated rapist there, Arch. No offense, but anyway, that's him. And yeah, since this thing started, they fly American flags all the time, call themselves patriots when they're actually traitorous garbage there, Arch. And they fly them flags, and they even fly some Trump flags and stuff, and they wear his name all over their body. It's sick, man. It's just sick. They got this Trump all over the place. They put it in their yards, on their cars, on their bodies. Like I said, they got Trump stamps, Archie. They got Trump stamps. They got tattoos right over their butt cracks, some of these people, of that man on their bodies and stuff. So yeah, I know what you're talking about right there. Yeah, definitely. They got number one nailed down there, Archie. They dang sure do.
Getting good. Okay, number two. Disdain for the recognition of human rights. That would be things like wanting people locked up or done away with because they're different from their kind of folks.
Oh, definitely, Archie. They definitely are doing that. They love locking people up. I mean, they built some concentration camps. They're still building some. And they built this one down in a swamp. Alligator Alcatraz is what they called that thing. And it don't even have fences around it because it's surrounded by alligators and pythons. And that bunch of people went disappearing around there that they put in there. Don't even know where they wound up at. That's what they're doing, Archie. But they do believe in locking lots of people up. They want to lock up everybody that ain't like them. The non-Christians and stuff too is where they're headed with this thing. They want to force people to believe in their religious stuff and all that, Arch. You know, no offense to you, but I mean that's what they're wanting to force people into. And they don't like the gay people or the transgendered people or anybody. They believe in locking people up. And a matter of fact, that orange dude, that 34-time convicted felon, adjudicated rapist feller, no offense, but he's locking up his political opponents right now, and these people are cheering it on. So yep, they definitely get number two too there, Archie.
What a bunch of jackasses. All right, number three. Identification of enemies or scapegoats as a unifying cause. You know, making up enemies like liberals, communist terrorism. And the list goes on just to make them think they are being threatened.
For sure, Arch. Oh, for sure they're doing that. They started that way back with this Sarah Palin lady when she started calling everybody socialist and communist. And like I said, this big orange bloated syphilis up Adderall riddled idiot now that these people are following around that's got Trump stamps and stuff on their butt cracks. That feller, he really amped it up, and he surrounded himself this time around with a bunch of people that are doing the same thing. And they've done labeled half the country over here, you know, terrorists. They said we're terrorists because we don't like what they're doing, dictating up on us and stuff there, Arch. And so, yeah, they call us all kind of names. A socialist, communist, Marxist, fascist, all of it. Enemies of the state. And now we're terrorists. So they're doing it all. Yeah, they're definitely doing all that, Arch. So they definitely got number three down too, don't they? Yeah, I think they do.
Sounds you got a real problem on your hands. All right, number four. Supremacy of the military. Things like spending lots of money on military, even if it means you neglect the needs of the people. Over-the-top recognition of soldiers, military parades, and things like that.
All day long, Archie, all day long. That's what they're doing there. We've got this Christian nationalist feller there. He's the head of our militaries now, and he's one of them Christian crusaders that believes in just rounding everybody up that ain't like him, you know, and doing away with them. That's one of them Christian nationalist dudes. He runs our whole military right now, and he thinks he's a badass. He can't do pull-ups to save his life. He does girl pull-ups, though, Arch. He does do some girl pull-ups now. But as far as, look, that big orange bloated syphilis up Adderall riddled idiot I was telling you about, 34-time convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, that dude right there, the last time that he was pretending up on being president, he wanted to give himself a military parade. But he didn't ever get one then because he was surrounded by people that wouldn't let him do it. They said, it looks bad, man. You can't be doing that. This is America. This ain't North Korea, you know. He was doing that. But see, he's a 5-time draft dodger. Said he had bone spurs. But then he turns around and says that he was a star college running back and a gold medalist swimmer, too, in the Olympics. He said that, too. So anyway, he's a 5-time draft dodger. So he did give himself a military parade this time. You know what the military did? Rolled out squeaky army tanks from the last time we had us a world war. Old ones, squeaky wheels. They rolled past him. They had soldiers out there playing with toy drones like they were little kids. Did that too. And then they played a song to him when they rolled by that was about being a 5-time draft dodger. So, yeah, he does like to play toy soldier with the military. As a matter of fact, he's deploying them all over the country right now is what he's trying to do. Putting them everywhere. So, yep, they got that one nailed down too there, Archie.
Yeah, I've seen this before. All right, number 5, meathead. Rampant misogyny, mostly men in positions of power. Unless they are loyalists, governments making divorce illegal, taking away women's rights. All those horrible things.
Mm-hmm. Yep, doing that too, Arch. They're doing that too. They took away the right for women to have abortions just a couple of years ago, you know, and they say it's in that Bible thing that you left behind, and now you're saying you didn't leave behind it, aliens did it, but anyway, they say it's in there, it ain't even in there, you know, but they taking away them women's rights to be able to choose like that, you know. They did that, and there's states out there that are trying to make it illegal for them to get divorces, just like you were saying on right there. Yeah, they're doing that right there, and the gay marriages and stuff like that, they want to do away with that, you know. So, yeah, when we look around our governments and stuff, on our side, we've got a bunch of women there representing the women folks. On their side, they got just a handful that are a bunch of dang bootlicking loyalists is what they are. You're absolutely right about that, Archie. You're absolutely right about that. So, yep, that's going on too.
What a bunch of lousy pigs. Here we go. Number 6, control of the mass media. They take to threaten media use regulations, to silence them, or control them with intimidation.
Almost every single day we got to deal with that, Archie. Almost every day he's threatening media. He's always called them fake news and stuff ever since he was pretending up on being president the first time. Calls it fake news. And he's got all of his cult members. That's what we call them, cult members, because they behave like that. Anyway, he's got them all convinced up that all the news is fake news, always done that you only believe what comes out of his mouth. And yep, almost every day he's attacking the media, the mass medias and stuff. He's even getting our comedians and stuff thrown off the air. They're getting comedians thrown off there because they don't say all good things about him, you know. They point out the bad things that he does, and he's suing them, some of them, threatening big lawsuits, intimidating on them all the time, threatening to pull their licenses away. He's doing all that, trying to get rid of our public broadcastings and stuff, you know. Almost every single day he's threatening on that. Yep, he's trying to control the mass media too. Yep, sure is, Archie.
What a bunch of sissies afraid of the media. Okay, it is number 7. Obsession with national security, always tricking people into thinking they have to swap their freedom for their safety.
Oh, definitely. That's been going on for quite some time around here, Archie. I mean, right now they got this dude named Peter Thiel, and he's got this company named Palantir. He operates these drone swarms to be precise there, Archie. And what these things, they operate like a hive mind. And anyway, they conduct research on everybody, collect data on everybody all the time and stuff like that. And I'm telling you that he's even convincing up all these people that support that big orange bloated syphilis type Adderall riddle idiot. It's all okay. But they started this back when we had the 9/11s. That was like 25 years ago. But that's a whole different story, Archie. But yep, they've been doing that on us too.
Well, meathead, looks like you're halfway to being a fascist. Now on to number 8. Religion and government are entwined. They will use the most common religion and push it on people through the government, speak the language. All that nonsense, even if the religion and the wants of the government are opposed.
Yeah, they're doing that, and it's sickening. It's gross. It's icky there, Archie. I mean, yeah, they're definitely doing that. I think that's what most of this is about, is these sickos. They done hijacked this orange dude. They had to help him out to get him back up there in the governments there to be our president, to keep him out of prison for all the crime that he did. But yeah, those are the Christian nationalists I'm talking about. They're all up in our government. They're all up in it there now, Archie. And Yeah, they say stuff all the time like that that'll creep you out. And this one dude we call Speaker of the House of Gilead, Commander Mike Johnson, said his wife was on her knees for 2 weeks just praying for him whenever he was running for Speaker of the House. And he wasn't even running for 2 days, so I don't know why she's on her knees for 2 weeks. But they say creepy stuff like that all the time. Yeah, they mixing up all the religious goop up into our government now, and they got this prayer committees and stuff like that. The spiritual guides up there in the White Houses and stuff. It's crazy stuff, Archie. Yeah, all of that all the time. Hey, that idiot that I told you about, the orange one, held a Bible upside down in the church one time too. You know, trying to pretend like he's religious, but he ain't. Ain't nothing religious about him. But just like you said, they intertwine even if they don't really agree with each other, because it's all about getting power. So yeah, they're definitely doing that right now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty gross. Let's move on to number 9, the protection of corporate power. You know how that works. Corporate money buys politicians, and politicians protect and legislate on behalf of corporations.
Yeah, Archie, it is disgusting. And yes, as far as the protection of corporate power, that's been going on for almost forever around here in this country. I mean, they've been buying up politicians since there's been politicians, you know. That's definitely been going on, and it's getting worse and worse because I think a lot of these corporate leaders now are afraid of this dictator that we got going on right now, because like I said, he threatens on people all the time. So anyway, yeah, they're protecting on corporate power, giving them trillions of dollars of our taxpayer dollars, and then gutting all of our social safety nets and stuff. So yeah, they're protecting on them, and they're deregulating, letting them just destroy our planet and all that stuff. So they definitely doing all the work for the corporations and doing nothing for us at all. That's what's going on here. Yep, they definitely got that one nailed down too.
By the way, did your book talk about a camel and the eye of a needle? Because I did say that, and I meant it. Anyway, number 10, the suppression of labor. That all do that too. That's because organized labor is the biggest threat to a fascist government.
Suppression of organized labor? Man, Howard, oops. Archie, that started way back, like 40 years ago. Yeah, we had this dude named Ronald Reagan. He was an actor too, just like this orange dude was, and he was just a useful idiot as well. So he went along with all these people, same people, the Paul Manaforts, the Roger Stones, that who surrounded him too. They started that then, destroying labor unions, and then convincing all these white poor people out there and black poor people and all the poor people, you know what, it's a good idea to destroy labor unions because labor unions are bad. They convinced a whole generation of them people labor unions is bad, so they've been destroying organized labor for 40 years now. So absolutely been working on that one too.
Yeah, these people still think slavery is cool. Even I quit approving of that a while back. What a mess that was. Anyway, now we arrive at number 11, disdain for the arts and higher education. See, these people know our educated population is a stubborn population.
Yeah, and that's the craziest thing, Archie. They're convincing these people out there that education's bad. They're teaching whole generations of people that education is bad. And now look, now here's the weird thing about it. These are people with college educations telling people that college education is bad. These are people with college educations that are saving up for their kids' college educations while they're telling other people education is bad. And they're going into like our museums and stuff like that, changing stuff out on it. They don't want people knowing the real history of America and stuff like that. And, man, they have disdain for the arts, especially artists. They don't like artists either, you know, whether it be, actors or musicians. If they don't align with them, they hate them, but they definitely don't like them some education. Definitely at war with education. They're trying to destroy our education system right now as we speak, Archie. It's crazy.
Dummies making more dummies. So number 12, obsession with crime and punishment. We're talking mass arresting people they don't care for. Political opponents, other ethnicities, gay people, you name it. They build concentration camps and as such. And they always have a massive police force there to brutalize, harass, imprison, and even kill with no consequences.
Oh my God. My bad. Yeah, they're definitely doing all that stuff, Archie. They're definitely doing all that. They're going after political opponents right now, just bringing up bogus charges against them left and right because they went after him, you know, because of all the crime that he did. So now he's getting retributions on him, going around and locking people up, trying to lock people up. And like I said before, yeah, they're building concentration camps and doing away with people that we don't even know where they're disappearing them at, and just snatching people off the streets. And yeah, like you said, a massive police force. We got this thing called ICE now, where they're hiring like thousands of these people, and they just wear masks because they're sissies is what they are. They're, Archie, they're sissies, and they're afraid of being identified, so they wear masks, and they sneak up on people and snatch them in off the streets and stuff. And we had some people like this in this world back almost 100 years ago, and that's what they were doing, just disappearing people. And it's a big old, they ain't even held accountable. I mean, they shot a lady the other day, and it's going to get worse and worse. So, yep, they're doing all that stuff too. All of that stuff. Concentration camps and massive police forces that don't have consequences. Yep, doing that too.
Yeah, you got some sickos down there. Now, number 13 is cronyism and corruption. These people appoint the worst of the worst, their criminal friends. Then they spend their time just robbing the treasury, the taxpayers, and making personal deals to enrich themselves and their corrupt friend at the expense of the well-being of the country.
The cronyisms and the corruption is rampant there. Yeah, they are definitely that. I mean, he hired and put in his cabinet some of the most just unqualified people he could find, as long as they were loyal bootlickers of his and stuff. And he's got all of his rich buddies around him, billionaires and millionaires, and they're just looting everything. They're out there making deals with foreign countries, and it's against the Constitution what he's doing right there, but he don't care. He don't care at all. It's against the Constitution. He's out there just enriching himself left and right with foreign adversaries and stuff, and his friends and stuff are making money. His family's out there making billions on cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, Archie. I mean, it's right in everybody's faces, and he's acting like it's just business as usual and there ain't no problem. But I mean, he's doing it right there. Corrupt as it can be. Corrupt as it can be. And like you said, the cronyisms with his friends and all that, it's just right there in front of everybody's face. Yep, that's definitely going on. Has been since the first time that he was pretending on being president.
Yep, the slimiest to the slimy. So now we've finally made it. Number 14, fraudulent elections. We're talking rigging outcomes, suppressing people's ability to vote, people's access to polling places, legislating people's voting rights away. They use every trick in the book.
Absolutely 1,000%. For sure, they're doing that too. And the thing is, the last time whenever he lost an election, he said it was rigged. He went out there and told everybody it was a rigged election because he lost. Caused a big old stink about it. A bunch of dang people went up to the Capitol building and erected a gallows, threatening to hang the vice president, took down the American flag, raised up a Trump flag, smeared doo-doo all over the walls, Archie. Smeared doo-doo all over the inside of the walls of our Capitol building. Marched a Confederate flag inside the rotunda. That wasn't even done during the Civil War, you know. So he made a big old mess of it. But now they're all the time, these people, that party of theirs, that Republican Party, they're all the time trying to suppress people's ability to vote. They make it difficult. They've went as far before as barricading entire neighborhoods in to keep people from being able to get out to the voting places and stuff. They close down polling stations. They make it as inconvenient as possible. They purge voting rolls without people's awareness of what's going on. So when they show up to vote, they're not registered and they didn't know it. They do that stuff all the time, and then they gerrymander districts and stuff to where it favors them. All the time. They try to slow down the mail for mail-in voting. They try to do away with mail-in voting. They try to make it as difficult for people to vote as possible. Yep, and now then, we got a bigger problem, Archie, because our biggest supplier of voting machines was just bought by one of those billionaire buddies of that big orange bloated syphilis up Adderall riddled idiot. So yeah, they definitely conduct fraudulent elections while they point the finger at the other people. Yep, they're definitely doing that too. Well, Archie, it looks like we've got ourselves a bad situation over here. I mean, they matched all 14 of them. All these people I was telling you about, they matched all 14 of them. It seems like if there was 100 of them, they'd have matched them too. I mean, so like I said, I mean, it seems like we're really in a bad situation. What do you think?
What do I think? Here's what I think, meathead. You have one of the worst fascist infestations I think I've seen. I suggest you get that mess cleaned up before you morons become spacefaring morons and spread that virus of yours to other innocent morons. I have seen this over and over again. Look, you have two of the most destructive forces known to man. organized religion and capitalism. And both of those together, meathead, that's a deadly combination.
What do you mean one of the worst infestations you'd ever seen? You wasn't around here for the 1930s, were you? We had a bad one back then, too. You wasn't back here then trying to fix that? Oh, man. Well, look, I was reaching out to you, Archie, to actually see if you'd come down here and fix this one. You know, it needs fixing on before it gets out of control. So that's kind of what I was hoping. We was reaching out to you and that you'd fix on this situation for us. You ain't gonna fix it for us? You're just gonna bail on us like that?
Don't meathead. I wasn't there to fix the first one. I won't be fixing this one. Look, I didn't do it. I flooded your space rock and left it for the woolly mammoths, the unicorns, and the fishes. It's not my fault. That 600-year-old man still had the stamina to build a boat, round up all the animals, and then it seems get his old groove on with. Archie only knows. How many women? So good luck to you, meathead. All I can tell you is, you do what you gotta do. And I pretend I didn't see a thing.
Well, wow, y'all. I think that's the craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life right there. That Archie Godfeller, now that guy right there is a character, ain't he? Now, look, he just told us that he wasn't going to do nothing for us. He didn't do it the first time and he ain't doing it this time. He just left us a flooded rock's what he told us. He left it here for the woolly mammoths, the unicorns, and the fishes. I ain't seen no unicorns, y'all. I ain't seen any, not real ones. But anyway, that's what he's telling us, but he told us to get our mess cleaned up. You know, that's probably some good advice. He did give us some good advice on that, and he did say handle our business, and he pretended he didn't see anything. You know, I think that's a good message right there, wink and a nod. But look, we've got that No Kings protest coming up on the 18th, and we got crazy people like Speaker of the House of Gilead, Commander Mike Johnson, labeling everybody in this country that don't like this dictatorship terrorists. That's what we are, terrorists, for showing up to exercise our First Amendment right. Now we're all a bunch of damn terrorists. So anyway, Archie, I think, gave us some good advice. So if things start getting sideways, I think we need to handle our business, y'all. All right? Inmate Trump.